And just like that, Apple's 2023 September event is over, and in case you missed it, there's been updates to 2 different product lines, and I'm here to fill you in under 5 minutes. Look out for the individual product videos for the iPhone 15 lineup, as well as the new Apple Watch lineup. Those will be coming shortly as well, where I'll be going a little bit more in depth of my personal opinions and what these products will offer. So stick around, and let's start off with Apple's first release of the day, which is the Apple Watch Series 9 and the Apple Watch Ultra. For me personally, I've never been a big fan of the Apple Watch. It just seems to be like another stressor. My phone works perfectly fine if I want to look at another screen. I don't really want to look at it on my wrist. I can just pull the phone out of my pocket. The more usability of just voice controls or action buttons, the lack of that has really prevented me from buying an Apple Watch. And although there's an action button released on the first generation of the Apple Watch Ultra, it wasn't appealing to me. But they released the technology today that I think is going to be super crucial for the majority of people who haven't bought an Apple Watch to run out of excuses to not buy one. And that is Double Tap. One of the things that Apple released in this event is the ability to have some sort of action mode or an action button just using your fingers. Pairing Double Tap with 25% better dictation and onboarded Siri onto the device, this is going to be a blowout product for both the Series 9 and the Apple Watch Ultra. So what is Double Tap? So what Double Tap's going to be is the movement of your 2 fingers doing that. That's all it is. That's Double Tap. And the Apple Watch is going to sense the movement in your wrist and the change of blood flow when you do this to create some sort of action mode. So if that's changing a song, picking up a call, when you have something else in your other hand, Double Tap motion is now going to be one of the bigger selling points for the Apple Watches for people who have not bought them yet, which is this guy, because I like sticking with just an actual watch. If I look down and see a text message on this watch, I'm getting a little concerned. Along with precision finding for your iPhone, so if you lose your iPhone, you can find it via your Apple Watch, which is cool, but in most situations, you can just do it on a Mac, do it on a computer, and find it anyways. But I guess it's pretty cool if you're out hiking somewhere and you drop your phone. All the Hermes and the Nike bands, as well as the Apple bands, are all going to be recycled materials now. So one thing that I did hear is all the old Hermes bands are being sold to Apple Store employees for like 85% off, and they were expensive bands. But I guess that's just because they want to get rid of the leather. They've kind of said no more leather in our products. It's all going to be environmentally friendly, which is actually a big portion of this keynote, and I'll get into that in a separate video. But moving past the environmental awareness, Mother Nature, and all the Apple Watches, there was one other product that I think everybody was looking forward to see, and that was the new iPhone. So we got 4 iPhones, as we seem to typically get nowadays. We got the iPhone 15, the iPhone 15 Plus, the iPhone 15 Pro, and the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And they're all a little bit different except for the base iPhones. I'm going to tell you why. So the iPhone 15 and the iPhone 15 Plus are now going to get the dynamic island that was originally in the iPhone 14 Pro. I love this little thing personally. If there's any background tasks like airdropping, or if you're downloading something, or if you go to put your AirPods in and the case battery is low, it will notify you as well. I love the dynamic island, and now it's coming to the baseline phones of the iPhone 15. Other than that, the baseline iPhones are now going to get the 48 megapixel main sensor that were in the iPhone 14 Pro, but it's a little bin. If you're gonna get a camera, just get the Pro version. But if you're getting the baseline, you're gonna be taking amazing photos. You can now do a 2x optical zoom for the baselines. Sounds great. You're gonna take great photos. You've got that 48 megapixel sensor. But yet again, if you're trying to take great photos or videos off of the iPhone, you're probably gonna go with the Pro models anyways, which still have the 48 megapixel cameras that don't film in 8K, but there is some improvements, but it's not gonna get me to switch off of this 14 Pro. So here they are. The iPhone 15 Pro and the iPhone 15 Max now shoot 2 times better low light. They shoot a 48 megapixel HEF format photo, and now up to 5x optical zoom. So the focal lengths go from 13 mils to 120 mils, which is absolutely crazy. But you can now film 4K 60 FPS in ProRes. If you got the 14 Pro, you can only film up to 30 FPS, which I think is great. You can film ProRes in slow-mo now. Good for you, Apple. I would have loved to have seen 4K 120. Just regular. I don't even need the ProRes version. I think that would have been great to see. And all this is powered by their A17 Pro chip, which seems to remind me a lot of the M1 and the M1 Pros. This is much more dedicated towards performance, and I'm very curious to see how this acts in real life situations, and if there's a noticeable difference from just your standard A16 chip. And the ProRes this year is now going to be in a log format, so you can get better post-production. But if you're worried about your iPhone filling up a little bit too quickly, you can now film to an external drive via USB-C. All these iPhones this year are going to get USB-C or USB 3, as Apple's saying it, as well as the AirPod Pro 2s. From now on, can now charge via USB-C. If you just ordered one with the lightning cord, Sucks for you, the new ones now get Type 3. And the last thing to mention to recap this event in as short a time as possible is the iPhone 15 Pro Max. This phone can supposedly film, in a month or two from now, from a software update, spatial video, which can go to the Vision Pro and be replayed as a 3D video. And it's going to be coming to Apple's VR headset in the future. But the thing with that is we're going to assume the Vision Pro is going to work perfectly, and that the spatial video is going to work perfectly, and that the software for the spatial video is going to be working pretty well. And all of these are kind of pendant on future products and software updates, but it's a cool little thing to add. 3D filmmaking, it's coming to the iPhone. Pretty cool. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of the day.